Hey everyone, it's Rebecca and I'm back with another video. So as you can see, we have some of my propagations, and that's what today's video is going to be about. My little propagation table. I'm just going to tell you all about what I do to propagate. Everyone propagates differently, but this is just how I propagate. If it doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work for you. There's a bunch of other videos. If you want, I could reference those videos of how I learned how to propagate in the description below. So be sure to check it out if you're interested in learning other ways. So this is where I have all my propagations. As you can see, I reuse a lot of what I have in my house. You don't need any of that propagation stations that's like so fancy that you could find on Amazon. I just like to reuse what I have. But yeah, so this is where I put all my propagations. Why I propagate is that basically I like to make new plants. I like to grow my plant collection even more. So that's why I propagate. I mainly propagate all my plants in water except for this guy right here, and then another one that I'm going to show you. Water propagation is honestly the easiest way to propagate, I feel like, and plus it's really great looking at the roots and while they grow. And that's what really drew me into propagating a lot more of my plants, because I just love looking at the roots and how they're growing so far. What I use to propagate everything is in jars, glass jars that I find around my house. So like for my Monstera, I have it in a Starbucks Frappuccino glass jar that I have obviously washed it out before. And I also have this ivy in a Twisted Tea bottle, and I have it in here. Or if you don't have any glass jars, you can always go to maybe like Michael's, Joann's, any type of craft store near you, and they have really cool jars there. So this is one that I got there. It's just this like clear jar. Also have this little mini mason jar that I use that I also got at Michael's. Is an old candle jar that I cleaned out. I feel like don't throw away your candle jars. Do not, and I repeat, do not throw away your candle jars, because you can reuse them to propagate some plants. Also, in my spider plant right over here is also something that I just found laying around my house. I think he put like sauce or something in it. I use it for my spider plants because little glasses like these are really great for them, because spider plants are really small. Also, if you are going to be propagating by water, always do it in a clear glass. It's the best way for the roots to grow more and for sunlight to beam in. I always suggest using clear bottles for that. Even a plastic water bottle, something clear that you can like see through. Third thing about propagating in water, to make sure your nodes are submerged in water. Node is one of the stem parts from a plant, and that's where that root grows actually. Here's the node that must be submerged in water in order for roots to grow. Node, there's a node, there's another node, and see how the roots is growing from that? That's how you're gonna get roots. If you are going to be propagating in water, that's the main thing to know, is to make sure your nodes are in the water. I have a south-facing window, and that's the best for wanting to grow. But if you don't have a south-facing window, any type of window that gets a lot of sunlight is the best. Or you can use like a lamp or like growing lights. Those are also really good for growing your plants as well. I do have a lamp there for those like darker days, but that's my preference. You don't have to do that. Also during the winter, it helps to keep them warm. So if you're somewhere cold and you want to propagate, make sure you have like a heating lamp or something like that. So the brighter you have by your propagation station, the faster the roots are going to grow because of that sunlight. For the roots to grow even more, you need that sunlight, but you also need that oxygen. Oxygen is the way for the nodes to open up and roots to grow out of it. So I personally change my water every other day. It's okay if you miss a few days, like it's not the end of the world, but the more fresher water that you put into your plants, the more the roots are going to grow from it. But I don't waste my water. What I do is that I reuse that water and I put it in my watering can so that I can use that water to feed my other plants. So if your leaves are staying green and they are looking healthy, or maybe you're seeing some new growth, that means that you're, doing it right. Frequently asked question is, how long should you keep your plants in your water propagation? Honestly, you can keep it in there for as long as possible. They're just going to thrive and survive in their water because that's how they've been growing. Honestly, you're not going to get a full big plant in this water propagation. You're just going to have healthy roots. That's when, if you do want your plants to be big and bloom and everything, that's when you transfer it into soil. So when do you put it into soil actually? When is the great time to put it in the soil? I prefer to wait until you see really, really long roots. Usually that's around like maybe 1 to 2 inches. These roots are ready to be into soil. So how do we take it from this to a soil pot? These are the 3 plants that I'm going to be transfer things into soil and what have you. What I have here is a golden pathos, some cuttings from a string of hooks, and then my spider plant. I'm going to transfer it into soil. I'm going to show you here how to soil propagate, and then I'm going to put this also into soil, and I'm going to show you from a bigger spider plant of how to propagate a spider plant. So first we're going to talk about my pathos. When transferring it into soil, I recommend either 2 or 4 inch pot so that they have room to grow throughout the pot. I have my soil that I need to mix up a little bit more. I'm using regular potting soil that's like great for them, especially with the pathos. Pathos are really easy to care for, propagate for, and they really need just low maintenance type soil. I'm going to be using that soil. So first thing we need to do, roll up our sleeves, put our gardening glove on, and I'm going to put some soil into our pot here. Also, I'm using my eggshells. I'm going to put that in here, just a little bit, and just mix it around, make sure it's all even with everything. So now what I do with one finger, I like make a little bit of a hole so that I can put the roots in here, and then I'm going to top it off with soil. So they are all set in here and they are ready to grow in soil. Next, we are going to talk about propagating in soil. I'm going to use this little cup here and fill it with dirt. And honestly, just put them right on top. The This is great for when you have maybe like a string of pearls, a string of dolphins, any type of like stringed one, and the clippings fall off, so you don't have to, so don't throw them away. Basically, you submerge them like this, make sure the dirt is covering everything, and you mist it every day, and they should sprout from that. So that's how you soil propagate. I'm going to do this again with my spider plant, but I'm going to be taking another cutting from my spider plant and putting it here. So alright, so I just finished with my spider plant. So now I'm going to show you how to take a cutting. So here's my spider plant, and I'm going to be taking one of the babies and propagating it. This, I'm going to take my scissor, and I'm going to, so what I'm going to do is just cut it. That. I'm gonna separate this one. They're just going to be submerged in this water, and hopefully they will grow roots. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video of how I propagate my plants. I hope this helped with any questions that you might have had with propagating. I know when I first started off with propagating, I was really confused. I was doing a lot of things wrong. So I hope this helped out any new people who are interested in propagating their plants. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. That will really help me out a lot. If you are interested in more plant related things and want to check up on these plants and see how they're doing, be sure to check me out on Instagram at RebaJill_plants. I changed my username, I know, but it's just a lot easier to keep track because I changed all my usernames. It will be linked in the description. Be sure to give me a follow on that. That would really help me out a lot. I appreciate you, appreciate yourself, and appreciate others. See you in the next one, everyone. Bye.